Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are going to be working on our 2018 Ford Explorer Limited, and we are going to be replacing rear toe links. There's been a lot of discussions online. There's been recalls, but unfortunately this car has not had the recall, but we're still going to go ahead and do it before we get in alignment anyway. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned, and we're going to get this thing up in the air and get to work. The Ram that if you saw the video,
subs. Speaking of which, like and subscribe underneath. Come on now.
Guys, so let's go ahead, throw this up in the air. I already have it kind of set up. Throw up in the air and get to looking at what these toe links look like. All right, so hopefully you guys can see this. So here's our rear toe link. It goes into the subframe here, and there is a bolt, if you can see my finger, right back here, that goes through, and I believe there's a nut attached to the frame for that bolt to go into. Now there has been some cases, if you're in a highly corroded area, which I'm in like a semi-corroded area, if you will, that nut can break free, and then you're in a world of trouble. So hopefully that doesn't happen here. So we will have to get that bolt out, and then we have to tackle this nut and bolt on both sides here. So let me see what those sizes are, and we'll try to get this off. So it's just those two pieces, and once we get it off, we will give you an idea of what breaks and take a look at the new one. Alright, so as far as sizes go, this nut on the top here in the frame, that is a 19. Get this on here. I got my breaker bar here. Let's see if we can pop this loose. Yeah, it's coming. So I just want to get it a little loose, and then let me get the impact on it. Trying to be gentle with these just in case they are a little messed up here. So and then we have on this side another 19 and a 21 on the nut. So I have my wrench in place there, as you can see. You don't even need it though. Looks like it's coming right off. All right, let's get the impact. We'll get those loose, and then we'll move on from that. All right, correction on the sizes here. I had the 18 socket on there, so these are 18s. Okay, got my nut off on this side. Bolt should be able to come out. Might need a little help, so we'll get that. I'll slide back in here with the impact. Make sure we're on the nut. Actually, I might just have to use the ratchet for this. You know, sometimes the impacts are nice, but sometimes it's just not worth it. Get this guy here. Alrighty, that bolt's out. Let's go ahead and get the persuader over here to get this bolt out. I'd have an easier time finding my tools if I actually put them away. Alright, looks like there's a sensor there, so we don't want to mess with that too much. This is actually going to come out pretty easily. There we go. Could be some... No tension. Okay. Alright, so I have everything lined up here. So that, in all intents and purposes, should be loose. So let's see. Pull it up. let's get into a little bit why we're doing this here. So here is our old sway bar link, as you can see, and here is our new one. Okay, these are, I believe, Moog sway bar links, but for all intents and purposes, they look the same. So here's the reason. Here's the reason why we were looking to do this. So these sway bar links from Ford, on the installed from the factory, they had issues where they would break from the weld right here on the end, especially in, again, a corroded area as they get older. And what happens when it does this is that this wheel can then shift the toe. So if you're on the highway, this breaks, which probably in most cases, unless you like hit it against something, run over a curb, something like that, it's probably going to break on highways, probably where it sees the most stress. And then if that breaks, it kind of sends the back end squirrely. This is my wife's car. I don't want that to happen. So they had a recall on these. It was up to 2017. Now in 2017, they didn't change, from what I'm aware, they didn't change anything model-wise. My 2018 looks exactly like a 2017 does. I wasn't 100% sure why they didn't, do the 2018s as well. Even the 2019, I think they changed it in 2020. The models thought that it was redesigned in 2020, I believe. And, so I didn't understand why it stopped at 2017. And before that, they only replaced, I think it was a couple years before, maybe 2015 they stopped, and then they extended it, right? So it kind of left me uneasy, for sure, as you can imagine. Even if this was okay, the corroded aspect of it, this has 88,000 miles, I think. If there was a weak point here, as time goes on, it gets corroded and it gets even weaker. So this car is also due for an alignment pretty badly. So I kind of was left with the decision, okay, do I switch these out now? Because these definitely affect alignment in the rear. So do we switch these out now, or have the potential of it just be resting on my mind? Like I don't want this to be on my mind that this could break at any time. And then I end up doing it a year down the road, and I just didn't want to waste more time or money on an alignment when I knew that I kind of in the back of my head wanted to replace these. These were only $70 for the pair online. They have Steeda ones. They're big, bulky monsters, and that just seemed ridiculous. And they're very expensive. This car isn't meant to be tracked or anything like that, so I don't understand why people will go with those, but hey, to each their own. I'm not going to judge anybody here. But, so we have pretty much direct replacements, and the replacement is a known good brand, Moog. I'll leave the link in the description below where I got them from. Like I said, they're only $70. It doesn't actually say Moog on here, but I believe on the website these were Moog. So these bushings can also wear out too. This one seems to be okay, but obviously, new bushings are always better. So I think it's worth your while to do it if you were concerned about it. I will say though, I wasn't expecting this to look like this, and that's kind of what this one looked like. I believe some of the ones that were recalled, or some of the ones that I seen that were broken, they were kind of like spot welded on here. This looks to be like one uniform piece, so maybe they fixed it. Maybe they fixed it, and that's why they didn't recall this model. But if you have a 2017 or older, you don't want to. You want to get that recall. And if they don't have the recall, I still think you should replace these. But the other thing with the recall is that they replace them now after multiple variations. They replace them with toe links that do not have this adjustable piece for alignment. They actually elongate these holes, so that the bolt, like you can align it like that, right? You kind of see me sliding it back and forth. The hole is elongated. You can kind of align it, torque it down. The problem with that is, what do you think is going to come out of alignment first, an elongated hole with a bolt through it, or this threaded in adjustable coupler. I'm gonna go with the bolt. So to me and to a lot of people online, the replacements kind of stink, and some people didn't even do those replacements. Once they switched to that model, they actually went ahead and just did it themselves. So, which I don't blame them, because things get run over, especially back tires. You misjudge a turn, you run over a curb, like that could knock you out. So knock you out of alignment. So that's why we're swapping these out. Definitely want to go ahead and do that. So pretty simple to do. So you saw me take it out. The hard part, I hope, knock on wood, I had wood laying around, should have been taking it out, and the riskier part in that sense. One thing we need to do is just line up these holes, and what I'm going to do is take the bolts that came out, I'm just going to stick them through and line it up there. That way I know that these are perfectly aligned at the top. Spread out a little bit. Come on, there you go. And then they're actually really close right now, but it does look like this one needs to come down just a little bit. So we'll loosen this up, and then we'll stick the bolt through the bottom hole, so that we know that, obviously this is getting aligned anyway, but we know that this is pretty spot on to where it should be. Okay, a minute later, and we are back with our bolt. Bolt goes through the bottom, and we have our top bolt here. Goes through. I mean, can't get more exact than that. Like I said, alignment's always good after the fact. So pull these out, and we'll get back to over here. All right, we are going to check this bushing here. Basically, how we do that is to throw this bolt back in with the nut, if I can get to it. Should have enough threads to lock this down. Yeah, I bought a table so that I can have a table to set things on. A little rolly cart. Problem is, I set things on it that I need to sort out and put away, and I don't have that rolly cart anymore. It's just over there with a bunch of crap on it. Let me know, comment down below if you think that's something that you would do as well. See how this is moving around? That's I guess that's a good sign. There's no tears in the boot that I can tell. And again, you can kind of peel back that boot and see. There. You can see if there's any corrosion. I don't think we're gonna have any problems. In fact, I really don't think we're gonna have any problems, because I was able to take that bolt out pretty easily. Even though I got the pry bar and the hammer and everything out, we really didn't need it. This is set to be torqued at 185, I think. So my ancient torque wrench. What you want to be able to do is still turn this without turning. Obviously the bushing's going to turn a little bit, but you want to be able to easily turn this. And I think there is a specific torque. If there's any resistance there, it means there's corrosion, which means that this has to be replaced. And if that has to be replaced, you either are replacing that whole knuckle, or I don't know, maybe you can get the machine shop to press something in there. Probably replace the whole knuckle though. So let's loosen this up. Now that we tested that, like I said, I didn't think we were going to have any issues, because that bolt came out pretty easily. So. But always good to check. Get our new control arm in place. Slide it up into here. Went pretty easily. We're going to get it around these boots here. That's going to be the hardest one because you can't see it. So let's get this back one started. And for that, we're going to use Loctite. Go get yourself, actually it's just Permatex. I went in the store asking for Loctite. They told me it was down the aisle. And they had Permatex, which ultimately is the same thing. I wish I was sponsored by Permatex. I am not. I was actually debating on whether I needed Permatex. Generally, the consensus is that you don't really need it unless it's a bolt that has like in an engine oil galley type deal where it's lubricated. You want to keep it in place. But when I took these off, they had some on there, the red Permatex. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it back on. Put some on here, not a ton, probably way too much. Dripping all over the floor. Just want a little bit. Makes sense to put it on here. These bolts are kind of moving around. I shouldn't say the bolts are moving around, the bolts shouldn't move around. But there is some force that could potentially have this move around. So, get it through, get it in, get it started. Again, we're going back to the 18, not the 19, as I said previously. I get so nervous working on a car that, this car in particular, because my wife has things to do. We only have 2 cars, so we live pretty busy lives, so makes me nervous that, something breaks and we're down one car. That would be a nightmare for us, honestly. But, actually just purchased another car in Copart. For those of you who watched the channel before, we purchased, this is my 3rd car on Copart that I'm purchasing ever. Last one was a Ford Mustang that I made some videos on, didn't turn out so well. Had some more damage than I thought, so. But you can watch this video. It's actually, the video, I'm not sure if the last video for that Mustang is going to be coming out soon, or it's already out before this video, I'm not sure. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I did purchase a 3rd car. Not as much, well, I didn't think there was any issues with it. Description said minor dents and scratches, which kind of, they say that for everything that doesn't have like major issues. Anyway, yeah, purchased 08 BMW 335i. So, if you're new to the channel, spoiler alert, like I said, there was no bad description on the listing, but soon found out that the on the window, I missed, it stated that the engine was seized. But, is it really seized? I don't really know. I know that's, it says engine seized on the window, it must be, but, I mean, you really trust the person that put that on there? I mean, they could have been a Copart employee, started, running through his motions, jumped in, put power to it, and it clicked. That could be many things, not just the seized engine. So, hoping that's the case. I got a little bit of intel from a Carfax that might indicate that's the case, but if you want to find out, go ahead and, while I struggle here to get this on, you go ahead and hit that like button on this, hit that like button on this video. I try not to mess this boot up. And subscribe. Turn on those post notifications, then that video comes out. It will come out. I don't have the car yet. Just got the paperwork. That's why I'm thinking about it. To go pick it up. There we go. Got it. Let's get it all the way in. Doing the think smarter, not harder attempt. And what I'm doing is putting the ratchet that in the opposite side control arm. And the brake caliper here in hopes that it moves this over enough, which I think it might have. I saw it move. Yes, yes, yes! Let me show you that real quick. So what I did here, this obviously twisted when I took the control arm out, the rear toe link. And so in order to kind of get it back in place, with it, while also trying to fight to get the bolt in all the way through, I just used a ratchet strap. And yeah, it worked pretty well. Loosen it up now that we have the bolt in there. And we will kind of leave this hanging because we're going to need that for the other side. All right, back to this side here. And the Loctite, oh, both in my pocket. Perfect. Some of the Loctite on those threads. Probably too much. That's okay. Again, that's up for debate, but the way I see it is Ford did it. I should probably do it too. Don't you think? Although I didn't really see any Loctite on the back bolt, on this bolt here. It was only on the front bolt. But again, it's one of those things you're kind of better to be safe than sorry. So that's what we're gonna do. Hopefully it doesn't screw up the next guy. Too bad. I'm sorry, the next guy. These are moved parts. Can't move. I'm gonna fail. Fine. This is also, I think, 185. I'll double check and say it again before I actually do it. Tighten it up here. Take our extension off. Get our wrench on. There's a better spot to place this. Problem is this wrench kind of moves around. I don't want it to hit this. But I don't have a choice. My hand didn't really work so hot, so I guess if it sits there, it'd be okay. I don't want to push it up against that. I don't think it would bend it, but it's also going to slip if it's on an angle. Alright, so we are all good here. Tighten her up. So, good. Torque wrench again. Yes, I'm loosening. And that's because you want some suspension travel before you tighten your bolts. What I mean by that is you want to tighten them to where the car would be, or at least close to where the car would be sitting. Why? You want the bushings to be kind of in its usual normal position when you tighten it. I think otherwise they might squeak and what have you. So I'll put this up, watching the lift here. Obviously don't want to make anything fall. So let's get this on here. Come on, where you at? This thing is certainly in spec. Questioning this torque wrench right now. It was last calibrated in 99. Come on, don't go that far off. All right, good enough. That side's done. Whew. Now that we've worked out the kinks, I think we are good to go for the other side. So let's take this down, put the tire back on. We'll kind of blow through the other side here. All right, guys, and there you have it. That was pretty much it. I forgot to film the outro to this video. So yay me. I ended up doing an oil change in the car and then brought it down and took it out for a ride, made sure that everything's okay, and scheduled my alignment. So it was pretty easy to do. When I did the other side off camera, I had all the tools and everything ready to go. There was no more fumbling around looking for things and things that I needed. And it went very smooth, maybe 20 minutes to swap the other one out. So not too bad. So if you liked what you saw today, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, comment down below anything I did wrong. I'm sure there's probably something, so whatever, it's fine. We all learn, right? If you are interested in that video I talked about our new projects coming in, again, you'd have to hit that subscribe button and then turn on your post notifications so that when that video does come out, you'll get a notification on that. So, yep, help support the channel. Thank you very much, and I will catch you guys on the next one later.